Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yes.
Hey Dollies, it's your girl King and welcome back to the Dollhouse. So today we're going to be talking about Kiss of Life and the conversation around cultural appropriation of Black culture. Let's get into it. So here's my opinion on this, right? So they did a live stream and I don't know what this was for. They were celebrating something. I really don't know. But my thing is, y'all, I agree with the backlash, right? Like I always say, I agree with the backlash to an extent, but I always feel like we overdo it and we don't give people a chance to like learn and grow. Like they are not American, and even if so the big thing is K-pop is very inspired by Black America, like our culture, our music, and etc. And so I feel like a lot of people have a lot of anger towards K-pop. They just have this mentality, almost like you guys have music like this, you do this and that, and then when it comes to our culture, you disrespect us. And I feel like I agree, but I also feel like we have to have some type of grace and try to like give it a chance for people to learn.
Bro, I got a question though.
Like, what?
I got a question. What, like, has K-pop ever say like they get like? Have they say like publicly that they get their influence from hip hop, and do they give credit?
So the artists, as far as I know, like the newer gens, or like even like probably the artists that we would have grown up on, I don't think they've ever said that. So my group has said it got 7. They've mentioned, well, I should at least say Jackson has mentioned multiple times that he's inspired or was a big fan of Black people. Like, he names Black people as his biggest inspirations. But the like OGs for K-pop, like for example, what's it called? YG. I don't know if it was him too, but JYP, which is like one of the big 3 companies, right? Like they're like the big companies that like host like K-pop idols and groups. He's admitted at least that he is greatly inspired by like R&B and hip hop, and a lot of other like top people like that, like executives and stuff, have admitted it. But I don't really see artists saying that, if I'm honest.
Because a lot of newer, I mean, even older ones, because I was watching clips of like 2000s K-pop, and it's a lot of hip hop influence. So I'm over here, I'm thinking like, have K-pop groups, companies, you know, admit that they get their influence from hip hop and like, you know, all that, and give credit what credit's due, you know?
That's the thing, because remember, Orchid, you and I were actually talking about this because I believe it was Seo Taji and the boys. Is that who it was? Seo Taji, is that how you said? But remember, you had looked it up because you were like, who was the first like K-pop whatever? And I think this is like either the late 80s or like the early 90s that he came out, that this group came out. And it was that's extremely hip hop. Like there's no denying the hip hop influence for this group.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember this conversation. However, I do have an interesting concept too, and I'm broadening it a little bit, but I feel like for a long time though, since music has especially grown more recently in modern day, and even before that, music has historically been a scene where genres get ripped off or stolen or compromised and things like that. I think it's a very recurring trend, but I think that there's a lot of ways to kind of do it that are really shady, and there's a lot of ways that are just genuinely offensive.
Yep.
Now, based off of the picture that I'm looking at, I can get offense from it. So I do think like on one part, yes, like we have to give grace and we have to educate above all else, because, you know, and I think you make a valid point that they're from a different country, and like maybe this is, you know, it's different than the customs and values that we have where we're located. But at the same time, you're really famous too. You have a PR team. You have people that should be cognizant of this, especially because they're not just K-pop stars. They're entering or are planning on entering or have entered like the global landscape and the global world, you know? So it's just
They
like
have. Yeah.
Right, like they have, exactly. Like in no way, like there wasn't not one person on that PR team, not one person that was on Twitter or X and was like, maybe we shouldn't do this, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like,
That's
maybe they should hire like me or something then, because or one of us, because at the end of the day, like they need somebody culturally competent on their team. Like that's just the bottom line of it. Like y'all making how much money, and not even, and I don't, again, like I unfortunately, or unfortunately, the people who are the artists have to kind of suffer as a byproduct of that. But also too, like they have a responsibility to educate themselves as well, because they're global icons. They're, people around the world are looking at them. People who look different than them, who identify differently as them, who grew up differently as them. So the least that you could do to be like a good fair artist is to like give grace and try to have empathy and understanding.
Yeah, my thing
Period.
So it reminds me of, I don't know if we should mention. So I thought we like the YouTuber, the tarot reader, Aphrodite, right? Let me make sure I said that right. We like him, and he did a reading on Blackpink that was for members only, where he mentioned that the leaks of them saying the N-word was coming from in-house in an attempt to devalue the girls.
The label, right?
Yes, the label.
Yeah.
In-house. So it's coming from them because they wanted to lower the value of the girls by like creating some type of controversy around them, so that the girls would have less to bargain with when they go into like negotiating contracts and stuff.
Because they're all on their solos, aren't they? On their solos?
That Drake was trying to do when he was saying with like UMG, he was trying to say that they were trying to devalue him with the Kendrick Lamar beef, right? It's the same idea, and I think that a lot of companies do this, not necessarily like in their case. I don't think it's to devalue the girls per se, but it's to create some type of controversy to get their name out there more. Because what's going to happen is when it comes to black people offending the black community, people will be mad for 5 seconds. Hold on, sorry.
I thought you were giving yourself 5 seconds. Right.
No, I know. I thought we were doing it for dramatic effect. Like,
I'm so mad. I had an eyelash in my eye. How is that possible? Like, how did an eyelash get in my eye? But anyway,
the eyelash bug.
Eyelash get in my eye. I meant my mouth. I'm sorry. I said that so wrong.
The eyelash
I was
bug.
like an eyelash in your eye. Well, I mean, it's your eyelash.
How did
Like,
an eyelash get in my mouth? Like that's what's crazy to me. But anyways, no. What I was gonna say was, what's gonna happen what happens when you insult black culture is people will be outraged for 5 seconds, because there's a lot of people, not just black people, people who are not black, who are gonna stand with us for a moment and be like, yeah, don't be mean to black people. And then once the girls release an apology, people are going to be like, no, we don't forgive you. But then within another 5 seconds, they will, and they'll move on and forget that it happened. And the girls will be more popular because more eyes are on them now that they offended somebody and had like this big major backlash. That's like a marketing tactic that a lot of people use. And it's iffy because it could hurt them enough to where they can't recover. But at the same time, there is the chance that it blows them up even more. And like you were saying about them being global, and I said they are, because remember I said at the beginning of the conversation, oh no, this is before we started recording, but I told our editor that they had performed with one of my boys, Mark from Got7. They had performed with him for Valorant Worlds. They did like a performance together, so they already had that like global stage. Only 2 of the members performed with him, but yeah. So their name was already put out there because of that.
I have a question that is completely unrelated to everything that we were talking about, but you said it and it buzzed a word in my head. Do y'all still play Valorant?
I'm tired of you asking me this question because you asked me it last time we spoke.
That's
and it
funny.
hasn't been that long. And I said
It sure has.
Coming soon. I'm just locked down right now. I have to lock myself out of games for a bit. Until, I'm done. We're almost done. And I can play Valo.
Same.
Psych. We're playing Marvel Rivals. Oh.
Anyways.
You're going to miss shots in both games. So I guess you just go from...
I don't miss
missing one
shots.
to missing
What you
another.
talking about? That's how we Alex on both games. Oh.
Crazy. You're not wrong.
Who called my friend by his name?
Who?
You!
Why would you say that?
My friend would never.
Orchid, hold me back.
I would never.
I just want the record to show that it's not me saying names this time. I
Alright.
just need the
This
record to
time.
show because I am a notorious offender. But
Hold on, the
this
editor
time,
was being shady. The editor
I
was
know
being
the editor was being shady.
See, because the
And
editor
I'm
got my
not speaking my own
back.
faults, but
The editor got my back.
it's always
Honestly,
somebody who got something to say.
I can't talk too much shit because I said fucking
Uh-huh.
Cowboy's name last one.
Cowboy
Yeah.
Bebop is
Cowboy.
crazy.
Cowboy hero.
Cowboy hero. Yo,
Cowboy hero.
I can't.
Who said Cowboy Bebop is crazy?
That
I'm
is
trying.
so
I'm
funny.
doing too many things at the same time.
I told you because you got ADHD too, and that's why I told you I had to stop watching your crap because it was triggering my ADHD. I was
So all the
distracted.
dollies, the editor is out here multitasking.
I can't
playing some
find this
Metaphor
damn
Zero.
fucking quest and hurt.
Get up right now. So going back to me being a fan of GOT7, a member of GOT7, Jackson Wang, was on. He was doing an interview show with Dive Studios, and he in a clip while I was watching casually. I feel like my reaction is not good as a black person. I feel like it's not good, but he said something that sounded like the N-word, and I did a double take because I was watching this like as it just dropped and it hasn't even been uploaded for like an hour yet, and I was watching it, and then I came across this part where it sounded like to me like he said the N-word, and I honestly laughed so hard. Like I feel bad, but this happens sometimes where like, because I've already said that intention is important to me, so if something isn't being done with like malicious intent, I often will like laugh it off, even if it's something that is problematic, as like saying the N-word, because another member had previously said the N-word as well, but again the context is important and like the intention is important, and neither incidents seemed like malicious. It kind of seemed like he was talking casually, almost like he probably like almost like if a person was around a lot of black people and they gave them the N-word pass. You know how some people get the N-word pass around people if you're in private, like, oh, you can say it when it's just us hanging out or whatever. A lot of guys, I think this is more common for like black men to do with other like non-black men. So it's almost like as if he was given the pass, like hanging around black people, and slipped up and forgot that he was, you know, doing an interview and then said it, because it was very casual. It was him just like, and we can bleep it off if we decide to, but basically he said something like, drop that shit, nigga, or something like that. It's what it sounded like. So the problem was apparently, and the reason why it sounded like this, apparently, allegedly, is because when he said shit, because that's a cuss word, they bleeped out the word shit, but they didn't bleep out the second word, which sounded like nigga. But the reason why apparently it sounded that way was because the way that they bleeped out the word shit bled into the word, like the beginning of the word brother, because they're saying that he said brother and not nigga. They don't sound the same to me, but that's what they're saying that he said. And listen, a ton of people on X, whatever it's called, XYZ, a ton of them were on there claiming that they only heard the B word and not the N word. So if they all heard brother, then I guess I just have bad ears. I watched with the headphones, without headphones, and I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like nigga, even with it uncensored. But he claimed that it wasn't. Well, he didn't claim. They claimed that it wasn't. I don't know if he said anything about it, addressed it or not. I really don't know. But people were saying that they were like, they 100% heard him say brother. That's what everybody was saying. I don't know if these people just got better hearing than me. I have bad hearing. Like, I'll admit my hearing isn't the best, which is why I'll let you guys listen to it at some point later, and then you guys can give like an updated opinion after you've heard. But it just I really do feel like I got gaslit because everybody was just like, no, he said X, Y, and I'm just like, girl, it definitely still sounds to me like he said nigga. But like I said, it doesn't, I'm not upset about it because I don't think that he was trying to be malicious. Like, had he said that to a black person, like aggressively or something, or said the hard R or something, I would have been like, okay, like that would have, you know, it would have been a completely different situation. But he didn't, and it seemed almost casual, like he was just casually talking to friends and said it. And I understand that a lot of people don't like that, but to me, I don't know.
I have a follow-up question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick. Can we take a quick second though? I have to run real quick and grab something from the kitchen.
Okay.
Like quick second, and then we'll just resume with the question. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The real question here, let me tell you. Should we be giving out N-word passes?
I understand why people don't want to.
Mm.
Here's my thing. There's I if you're gonna do it, I do think there is a time and a place. I do think that it's not something to say in public. So for him to get caught saying it in public, if that were the case, which I'm gonna go ahead and believe in him that it wasn't. But if he were to have gotten caught saying that in public, I would be upset in the sense of like, why did you get caught saying that in public? Like, you know better than to say it in public. That's kind of the energy I would have towards it versus being like, oh, he's a racist. Like, the problem a lot of people have with the N-word is that if you use it and you are not black, people will try to frame it as if you are racist. And for me, I'm like, that's not fair because I don't think that, like I said, intention matters to me. Because if it's if the word is so bad that like any person who says it at all under any circumstances is automatically racist, then why are we allowed to say it even as black people? Like, the idea is that we take the power away from the word by saying it, right? But if it's really that bad, then we shouldn't be saying it either. Like, no one should be saying it. So to me, I'm like, it kind of just makes me feel like, well, intention matters to me personally, but I'm not like upset at people who are upset about it, or if somebody were to be like, oh, I don't like that, I think that's racist, like, that's okay, like, I'll accept that as your opinion. It's just not going to sway mine.
And everyone's different, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just finding an agreement on that. It's what to hear.
My question is, if he did say it, do you think the same outcome would have occurred?
Yes.
Whereas, for example, like if he said it, if he genuinely did say it, and it wasn't like the censor, the way that it was censored, do you think that like his PR team or his company, or like, or his, not his company, his, like, you know, team would try to bury it as it is right now? And then do you think that the fans would definitely just be like, no, that, I mean, you said, kind of touched on it already, but you're just like, no, that's definitely what he said. That's definitely what he said. Like, do you think that the outcomes would be the same even if he did say it? Or do you think that he would genuinely like come forward and be like, no, like, I said this, and, you know, I want to apologize for it, and everything associated with it?
I think from what I know of him, so the reason that I say this is because, like I said, another member of the same group, this is a long time ago, back before I even became a fan, another member was caught saying the N-word, but they said hard R. But I personally, like, when I first became a fan, I did look into like some controversy just because I was curious, like, are they racist? Like, I just wanted to know, because when I first got into K-pop, I won't lie, almost everybody was racist. So I had to like drop a lot of groups that I was like into. And so when it came to them with GOT7, I had to also look, because I was just curious, like, are they racist? Have they done racist things? Whatever. And I came across some things, but everything to me was very much like opinion based. And I was just like, eh. And so the hard R one was the hardest one, I guess, to like the hardest pill to swallow. But at the same time, I did that particular member was from a completely different country. They never like grouped around any black people or anything like that. So it's possible that they heard someone else say it and thought that it was just like slang, you know, and not knowing the history or like the severity of saying certain things. I'd like to give people the chance, like, okay, he said it once, but did he say it again? And also, what was the context? Like, if even with Jackson, if he had, you know, said hard R or something to a black person out of anger or frustration, he was caught saying that, then I would be like, okay, that's completely different. But for him to possibly slip up and say it, I would be like, he's probably just, again, like, he probably got the N-word pass from black people and has been using it like casually behind the scenes, you know, when he's alone with like his black friends or something. That's what I would assume. But I did want to say.
Okay,
what?
my bad.
No, oh,
I was just gonna say, like, oh.
Go ahead,
I
girl.
feel like every episode we
I
do
was
this,
quickly
yo.
Gonna say something. I was quickly gonna say something though. When it first happened, because the word shit was censored and not the word brother, which sounded very much like nigga, because that word was censored, it did make me wonder if he was being sabotaged. Because I was like, why would they censor the word right before the slur? You know what I mean? Like, that didn't make sense to me. So when you were saying, like, if he actually said it, do you think things would be different? I think if he actually said it, it would have been bleeped out, because the amount of people that would have had to watch that interview, because this Dive Studios is like it's not, I wouldn't say huge, but it's a company. Like, it's a legitimate company. So they would have like 10 people watching the video before it goes live, before they upload it. So all of those people would have heard the word shit bleeped out and then not the N-word and been like, yeah, let's go ahead. That's like they would have to be sabotaging him because there's no other way. Like that's what I thought. The first thought that popped into my head when I heard it was like, wait a minute, they bleeped the word right before it. This is either I misheard him or this is sabotage. So when I first heard it, although it sounded like the N-word, I did think that maybe I misheard it at the time because I was like, well, there's no reason why they would bleep out the word just before it, you know? So I think that had he actually said it, it would have been completely bleeped out, or that part would have been cut completely.
Okay. What I was gonna say is, like you were mentioning about, like, you know, the context surrounding why it was said, or like why it could potentially be said. I shouldn't say why it was said. And you had said like maybe he had said it in a closed environment with black friends. What my immediate response was, but I don't think that that's necessarily okay either. And the only thing that I would say is, and not to kind of counter your point, but one thing that, like, you know, something that I have thought is that words have power too. So I think for a lot of people, like hearing the word, especially coming from somebody who is not black, is very charged in nature. And generally speaking, the word is charged. Like, I agree with you, but in that specific context, it feels a lot more charged. So I think that for some people, that particular part and the power that word has had in history and in the past definitely is one that strikes a chord. But I agree with you. Like, I hear you for sure. But that was just my thought when you said that too. Do I think that he said it? Honestly, I don't think that he said it. I think that generally speaking, I don't know why he said, I want to know the context of why he said what he said. Like, I want to know why he said shit and then the word brother next to it, and like, what was the full sentence? Like, what was being discussed?
So they were playing a game because he's Chinese, born and raised in China, and he came to Korea for K-pop, of course. And he had to learn Korean. Side note, he actually was in the, I think he got first place in the, I think, Junior Olympics for fencing.
Oh, very cool.
So he was going because he was gonna come. Remember this one I told you he was gonna come to Stanford. That was like what the school he was gonna go to in America. So he spoke traveling with like fencing on like a national level like that. He came to America. I don't know when, but at some point he learned English pretty fluently, and so he came to America quite often. And so there is a little bit of context behind that as well. I don't know how many black people do fencing in America, but I'm sure when he came, he met black people. Just saying. But anyways, so they were playing a Korean game where like it was like a Korean word spelling game or something, and he was not doing very good at it, but he did get third out of fourth place. And so it's like as a joke to celebrate getting third out of fourth place in a language that's not, you know, his native, he like jumped up and said like, yeah, as a Chinese, drop that shit, brother, I guess is what he said.
Oh.
Like out of excitement for winning a game when he's Chinese and not Korean. Like just joking around and stuff during the interview, during like the games that he was playing with the other like co-host or whatever, because they're all Korean.
Has he always been like that?
Has he always been like what?
Like go out there clapping people, calling them brothers.
When he speaks English, he says brother a lot. So the thing for me, if I'm honest, when I first learned of GOT7, he was the member that rubbed me the wrong way the most, because whenever he would speak English, it did seem very much like, I don't know how to word it, AAVE, right? Like it right. Very much had that vibe, and I didn't know why. And I guess because I'm American, Black American, and I've never seen a person who was not American speak fluid English. I think because his English is so good, like he understands slang and stuff, like his English is so good that sometimes I think it's easy to forget that he's not American. And I think that was what made me, that's kind of why I also give him some grace, because I'm like, well, he's coming to America for work. He's working with, he's inspired by a lot of Black artists. So he works with Asian Americans as well, but also Black Americans on music and stuff. And so I see how, like, when he's coming, because when you are learning a language, one of the things you want to learn is like how regular people speak rather than like the perfect, because that's not how like regular people don't speak like perfect English. Like honestly, like people learning English for the first time will probably do better at like an English test than some of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like we grew up speaking it, but like they're learning it like proper English, I guess, versus like the way that regular people speak. And so he's trying to learn how regular people speak English. So when he comes here and he's surrounded, and like he's in the music industry and he's surrounded by mostly Black people, and well, I wouldn't say mostly Black people, but you know how like, I don't know how to explain, you know how like a lot of Asian Americans in the music industry tend to have like a bit of a like they themselves will often use like AAVE. I don't know how to explain it, but I think this is more like for me growing up like in the hood and stuff. There were a lot of like Chinese and Korean people that I met when I was like in the hood, because there was like, and they spoke like they were Black, like they spoke like I spoke, like I grew up talking to them, and a lot of them did say the N-word and things like that. And I grew up around those kind of people a lot because I don't know, that's just like something that like I guess we just kind of like had the same environment. So I think that those same kind of people, like specifically like people who grew up that way, I think that they often would go into music, and he would meet people like that later. I think he's like part of like a dance group or something, and from what I heard, some of them kind of they had a little bit of like a, like the way that they use their slang did feel a little bit hip hop ish, which again comes back to like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I think that's just like when a lot of people who get into dance to hip hop, and then they just naturally take on AAVE because it just comes with the hip hop like culture, because it's a culture. Oh, my bronchitis. But yeah.
Oof.
I think so that's why I gave him the grace. Like when I kind of like sat back and like understood that, I was able to understand better why he might have speak with so much AAVE, and it made me feel less offended by it and more like, okay, I kind of get it. And because he does, so one thing I will say, this is what I was talking about earlier when you were like, do the K-pop people ever like address like their inspiration? He has gone on multiple interviews and said that his 3 biggest inspirations musically is Michael Jackson, Prince, and James Brown, all Black. So I feel like, and he also mentioned like liking Queen Latifah growing up and stuff like that. He said like his favorite song at one point was what's that song by Blackstreet? It's a really popular song.
The Backstreet Boys?
Blackstreet.
Oh.
No Diggity. That's what it's called. He said that was like one of his like the first songs that like he fell in love with when he was growing up was No Diggity, which is a very obviously very Black song. So my point is that he, out of all people, at least gives his respects and talks about how he was inspired by my culture, and I feel like that's how, I don't know, I just respect that. And so I'm not like angry about any of I just haven't like, once I like learned more about that stuff, I felt a little bit better about it, and I felt like he was respectful of my culture and he wasn't like appropriating it, because he has been accused of appropriating it in the past. He wore like cornrows and people were mad, but he never did it again. This is the thing, he never did it again. That's what's more important to me. He never did it again after he got roasted. He got roasted pretty bad too, I'm not gonna lie. They set his ass on fire.
I mean, definitely a debatable topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely a hot topic.
Definitely. I mean, it really just depends on, I feel like context is important. I feel like context is important, because when I first, like I said, when I first like learned of the group, and he was the member that I had the hardest time getting behind at first, but I love them all, and him too, of course. I made you guys watch like how many Coachella videos trying to find his performance, and we never even found it. So obviously I love him, but I did at first, he did rub me the wrong way at first, because I didn't understand. I think that understanding it and like seeing things and the context, I think is important. So I feel like if you guys understood all of that, you would probably better see my side. Whether or not you'd fully agree is, you know, whatever, but I think you would at least understand more. I feel like most people in general would understand more, and they wouldn't be as up in arms. But I consider this to be a debunked situation, because they came out and said that they posted the uncensored version and swear that it said brother, and everybody in the comments was agreeing. So I don't know what to say.
Girl. Wow, speaking of Coachella, did y'all see any? Did you guys see the Coachella drama?
I saw
Drama?
there's multiple. So there's
Wow.
okay. So Lady Gaga's performance was apparently demonic. A lot of people didn't like that.
I did hear that.
Megan's performance got cut because her sound was messing up, and she was even upset. And I think she cut her whole like set short. Like she walked off stage after a while because she was so upset. Because she was tired of dancing to no music, basically, because her sound kept getting messed up. I think she got sabotaged. And
At
then
the
there
end of
was
the
also,
show. And what was the other one?
I was gonna say also like there are people who there's car camping apparently. I don't know anything about that. But
I was gonna say
the
the rich side versus the poor side of Coachella. That's
because the car camping, they were apparently like waiting for over 12 hours in their car with no porta potties or anything in sight. So people
were there since like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it was bad.
In their cars?
Really
Yeah, because they were trying to get the good spot. No, the people that were out there mad early, they wanted to get a really good spot.
Car camp? Like, is that what they do?
Yeah, you can't.
Or you can't park in their car to go to the actual venue.
No, you park your car in like a section, and you built a tent.
You camp outside of it. Okay.
You camp out of it. Yeah. Yeah. And
12 hours.
Seeing the video was crazy.
When I tell y'all I have an overactive bladder, like 12 hours is too long. When I tell y'all I would have been on all the secret websites because I would have been having to step out of that car and pee on the side of the road. And they recording the whole time. They would have been recording. I would have been on all the secret websites.
The one TikTok was showing like his like night. And if everybody in the comments is crazy because it was saying like this is one of those like AI videos like a day in the life with the Black Plague or whatever or last day on Earth whatever type shit. And the guy was like showing his night and shit does look like one of like those like just like you're at a war camp. That's what it looked like. Literally, it looked like a war camp.
In the UK and New Zealand, like it was literal like mud. Like that they were through during these conferences. I'm still in business mode. During these festivals, that's the word.
Yeah.
They're literally like trudging through. I'll have to send y'all a video, but like they're literally trudging through buckets of mud trying to get to the area. That's crazy. It's gross. People talking about they get foot fungus from going to festivals.
And the line for the deluxe showers.
They develop a foot fetish at the festival.
Foot fetish.
I mean,
I'm tired of y'all.
It's good for them.
That's how we talk about Coachella.
Right, go for them. But you know what? Maybe
it's the season, girl.
Right, it is a season. But you know what's crazy? I wanted to go to Coachella so bad, and then now when I saw the videos of like the two sides, I'm like, now I'm just like, now I don't want to. I'm glad I didn't go to Coachella. Like, is this
there to like? I would have literally watched Megan Thee Stallion and then walked home. Like I would have been like, all right, I'm ready.
I'm like, is this? The thing is, like, I'm like, I didn't know, like, the camping was that terrible. And people waited.
Enough. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, because I was just going to complain there weren't enough people performing that I would have cared to see. Like, literally, like.
You don't want to see Yo Gabba Gabba?
I do want to see Yo Gabba Gabba.
I thought he just made that up. That's that's the real group.
You don't know Yo Gabba Gabba?
That's the real person. That's Flintstones? No, is that not from the Flintstones?
Editor, bring up Yo Gabba Gabba.
You know this.
You know this. Dollies, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Yo Gabba Gabba because
American Canadian children's musical television series.
King is our elder. It's okay.
Yes.
King is our elder. Yes.
wait, Weird Al made his Coachella debut with them. Wait a minute. I didn't know the Weird Al was gonna be there. If I had known that.
I don't think he was in this one. I think it was just Yo Gabba Gabba. Was it? Or maybe
it popped
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think
he surprised Coachella.
Oh, he was there?
Gabba's bizarre
yeah.
set. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would have seen that. Lady Gaga. I would definitely see Lady Gaga because, like, you haven't seen her. Like, she hasn't performed live in a while. No, girl.
Okay, good. Because she is losing her mind right now. Probably got told no. She's spoiled, so she's losing her mind.
Oh, it's the
And-
new Yo Gabba Gabba girl. Yes, I love her.
Guys, this is a children's show. I'm honestly
Yes,
scared
it is
of
a
y'all.
children's show.
It is a
I'm
children's
scared
show,
of
but
y'all
Listen,
now.
yo,
It-
you don't know how hard this show goes for
This
2,
show
3,
go
4
right,
toddlers, babies. This
right.
show is a certified, and every song on there is good, even for
Is a
adults.
bop.
Like it's a banger.
It's like the Wiggles and the
like,
Doodle
Party
Bops.
in my tummy. Like what?
You telling me that you don't rock to Fruit Salad? Come on.
Well, that's the Wiggles.
Well, yeah, but compare like they still have tunes that they still rock.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
Or the Doodle
Uh-huh.
Bops. Like y'all can't forget if the Doodle Bops are foreign.
Yummy,
Come
yummy
on.
fruit salad. Mm-hmm.
No, they were doing it. They were all over Coachella TikTok. I was like I liked them a lot. I was like Yo Gabba Gabba out here doing their thing. Lady Gaga's
By this conversation right now, can we move on? Right, Lady Gaga, she did her demonic performance.
was it Demon? Well, you know what? I'm glad she's back. That means 2008 is back. She's back. Mother is back. That's it. God, if people are saying demonic, Gaga's back.
Well, that being said, do I think that Mayhem is Lady Gaga's best album? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Do I think that it gives me reminiscent of her older work? Absolutely. But it's natural that based off of that, and especially the imagery that she gave for Abracadabra, like it's natural that she's gonna do that for Coachella. I wasn't surprised. Is what I'm trying to say.
So you're not saying you didn't like her Coachella performance? You didn't like
her
Alejandro?
Coachella performance, actually. Yeah, I did actually. Name 5 songs off of Mayhem.
Garden of Eden, Abracadabra, Disease, hold on, Die of a Smile. I'm eating it up.
You picking the singles is crazy.
Because those are the ones that come into my mind so quick. And I'm not trying to look. I deadass like I'm over here like thinking what comes up. Love Drug. Period.
All right, nice work.
An issue for me when it comes to music, you know what it is? There's 2 things to think about when it comes to music. For newer releases from like an artist that's like a veteran artist, I would say Lady Gaga is sorry, I'm distracted by my niece. I think on one hand, when you reach a certain level, I think that the music you make, you have more like bargaining with your label and etc. That you're like, okay, I want to do what I want to do. Like, I made you guys all this money. I was super successful. I toured the world. I did all this stuff for you. Let me make the kind of music I want to make, and let me have more creative control. And I think that that's great. That's supposedly what Beyonce did with Cowboy Carter, because she had been wanting to release a country album for a long time, but I think her label, I heard that her label had pushed back on that because they didn't think it would be successful. And I think that that's why after all of this time, she finally released it, because she was like, well, I have been wanting to do country for a while, but I had been pushed back because I needed to, I guess, prove myself or something. And so that's why she released it now. Allegedly, that's what people were saying. And I could see that. On the other hand, there's also the thing too, where if you aren't going to do something that's different and like trying out something different because it's what you want to do, because you have more creative control, then shouldn't it be better than your previous work? Thoughts?
Wait, say it one more time. I'm sorry.
So I said on one hand, when you have reached a certain level as an artist, you have more bargaining with your label to be like, okay, now that I've made you all this money, I want to now do what I want to do and have more creative control, right? But then there's another thing too, where if that's not the case, if you're not trying to have more creative control and you're just trying to make more music that is just like, you know, popular and does well, and it's not about you like like telling a story or being more like artistic, if that makes sense, then shouldn't it be better than your previous work? Like if it's the same thing, like if it's like I'm not explaining. You know how like pop is manufactured, so
Yeah.
it's like versus like being creative versus being like I'm just gonna be successful and make a good album for my fans.
So, like in this hypothetical, for all intents and purposes, this newest album would be better than her previous work, despite her kind of referencing her previous sound. Is what you're kind of saying, right?
Is what
Yeah.
that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, is it that? Because if she had made something else, like I think there was one album of hers that people were saying they didn't like as much or something, but I think it was because the sound was different. And to me, I'm like, that's probably her creative control. You know, her being like, oh, I want to try something different. Or her team. It could even be her label being like, let's try something different. And then it doesn't work out or whatever the case may be. And this isn't just for Lady Gaga because, again, this is the same thing I said about Ariana Grande when she released Sweet Next. Was it called Sweet Next? Midnight Summer Dream?
Not Sweet Next. Sweet Next? You're talking about Sweetener? Like her Sweetener album?
No, her last album.
Eternal Sunshine?
Eternal Sun, thank you. When
Who was talking about
that,
Sweet Sunshine?
when she released that, on one hand, I'm like, this could be her like being like, oh, I want more creative control. Or is this her trying to just like replicate her success? Not replicate in the sense of like doing the exact same thing, but just like artists release music, some people want to just keep doing better and better and better and better, and then there's other people who are like, okay, I reached a certain level, now I want more creative control and I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Generally speaking, like I think that once an artist kind of has more creative control in their belt, they have the ability to kind of apply what they learned when they were kind of being not handed, but like guided towards a specific genre of music and apply it to what they originally want to do.
Right.
But I also think too that like, I think that this album is for the fans more than anything else. You know, this newest album, like it's definitely and I like Lady Gaga, but I don't think that I'm like of like a diehard tier fan or anything like that. But this album, like definitely in terms of like how it sounds, its musical references and things like that, like it's made for those who've listened to Gaga extensively. But for those who are just generally like, you know, the
Average listener?
the regular consumer, right? The average
Right.
listener, right?
Mhm.
Like who might not listen to all of Lady Gaga. This is just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, like this works. Like if the person who listens to Mayhem is somebody who's only heard Lady Gaga's hits, for example, like Alejandro, Paparazzi, Just Dance, etc., they're gonna be like, oh, okay, this album is pretty good, but let me just go listen to Just Dance. You know what I mean?
Just
Like, people who have
Dance.
been long-term
sorry.
fans. I'm screaming. Thank you for the ad libs. People who have been long-term fans, right? I think that they'll get a lot more from the album than the general consensus of people. But I do agree with you, like, low-key, I think that especially if you're making an album that's like solely of your own volition, like something that you're really breaking away from like the obligation that you have with your previous contracts and things like that, I think that it should be better, or I think that there should be a notable change in genre. Not genre, but like sound, you know? That's just what I think.
Like having their own tune. Yeah, I think she did it with this one. For sure.
You think she did
Yeah.
well with this one?
Put out a banger. Kind of made like when you listen to it, you think back of her older songs. So it's just like, oh, like, you know, like make references to it. So it's just like, yeah, this sounds just much like Alejandro, or this one sounds like what's the Judas? Because a lot of people were talking about it, and then she did perform Judas during that after Abracadabra, I think.
Probably,
I think so.
Penetrate.
Probably, yeah.
It wasn't just about like her making like songs sound similar to her older music. It was the question of, is this something that is like either on one side or the other? Is this like a passion project, something she's always wanted to do, or is this something that she's doing for her fans? And then if it's something that she's doing more for the fans than being like, oh, this is the passion project, something I've always wanted that's different, then shouldn't it be better than her previous work? Like, like as an artist, shouldn't you like elevate? Like, shouldn't you keep getting better and better?
Yeah,
I mean, all artists
can't both
like
be true.
right. Both can like that's what I'm saying. Like both can
They can
both not be true
But
though.
that's what I'm asking. I'm asking, is that what you think this is an elevation from her previous work?
From Chromatica, in my opinion, I think it's pretty equal in standard.
I didn't
One
listen.
takes a little bit more of a grungier kind of outlook, and another one takes like another like pop kind of. Like, I think if you're asking me if you know what, yes, I think Mayhem is better than Chromatica. I think, but honestly speaking, if I'm being quite honest with you, what are the monsters? Don't kill me, monsters. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Chromatica.
Your pitchfork's ready.
Let's go ahead and clip that and make sure we use that as the promo.
I still liked it, but it
That's
wasn't my
crazy.
favorite Lady Gaga album. Listen, I like Joanne. Bitches who like Lady Gaga will know that Joanne is like people's least favorite album, and I like it. So maybe I'm not a monster.
I can't say anything because I haven't listened to both of those albums fully. So
You haven't listened to. Wait a second. You
That
haven't
is
oh no, we
crazy,
did have this
Because
conversation.
I
Yeah,
thought
we had
that
this
Cowgirl
conversation
was a
before.
Gaga head, but all of a sudden, Cowgirl.
never did I said I was a huge like I admit that I haven't I say this all the time. I haven't listened to her since after our pop. It kind of like went. It kind of went. It kind of my listen to Gaga went down.
Well, after
Not because
Joanne,
not
after
because
Joanne,
like
You said
monster
it's not worth
monster
listening
dollies
After art pop, is that what you said, Orchid?
after our
Huh?
pop because
No, I
after
was
our
saying-
pop was Joanne.
after Art Pop was
clip that,
Joanne,
please clip that.
Right.
and then that was a great album. And
Right.
then after Joanne was A Star Is Born, A Star Is Born or whatever.
Did
So that
she
was,
saying that right?
that was partially her album, and then after
So-
that was Chromatica. Then that Joker album that came out.
Oh yeah,
And then-
I forgot about that.
I haven't listened to that album because
I haven't listened to that either.
Again, Monsters Don't Kill Me. I haven't heard. We have
Right.
one friend who we all talk to. who
Monster
said that
Dollies.
There was one song that they enjoyed, but I forget what it is. I don't
I
want
forget
to
too.
bleep out their name if I say it.
You could say Queen.
But y'all won't know who the queen is. That's what I'm trying to. But yeah, we have a friend. We all have a friend who told us that there was a song that they liked. I'm gonna reach out to them and ask them what song it was. But off of that Joker Folie Do album or something like that. Maybe I am a monster because how do I know all these albums?
You
in
know
order from
'em.
their names.
You're a monster head girl. I can't say like
Said he gives
should I
Monster Head.
Monster Head is
huh?
crazy.
That's crazy. Who got that in their mind? Yeah, I
I just
still
want
listen
to
to
make a
art
quick
pop.
announcement that's unrelated to everything that we've been talking about. Well, kind
Mm-hmm.
of, sort of. But if you drink Monster Energy more than 2 cans in one day, I need you to check your liver, friend.
You're gonna
I need you
die.
to check your liver, listener, because that don't sound healthy. I say that from a place of experience because I've drunk.
You're drunk?
I'm not drunk.
Sound drunk.
Oh
You
my god, my
sound
friend drunk off the energy drink.
I
I told you when he
drank-
went to go get that beverage.
Oh, was
I
that it?
drank- ooh, yeah,
Energy
a
drink?
whole bottle.
Oh,
I
no.
drank 2 Monster
You're not
Energies.
supposed to drink Monster because it's demonic, remember?
It is demonic. It is demonic too. So
Girl.
don't drink Monster if you believe in that. Don't drink Monster for the demonic energy.
Bro, we're gonna lose our monster sponsorship. It's like, no, I can't drink it. I don't like
I
it.
wouldn't personally. Neither do I. Like I used
I don't
to
like
get the
it.
Monster Java one, the one that kind of tasted like a Starbucks coffee, but it literally tasted like battery acid and coffee. So
You know what I liked though?
I
liked
can't do energy
Rockstar.
drinks.
Did y'all ever have Rockstar?
Without vodka. No, I never had Rockstar.
either.
No.
Without
Rockstar.
vodka, Monster and vodka.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking
well,
about Red Bull and
that's-
vodka. Red Bull and vodka. Damn, Monster and vodka. You're crazy.
Red Bull is okay. People overhype Red Bull. Y'all
People do
overhype
overhype
everything.
Red Bull.
I love Red Bull.
We
I
know.
like Celsius.
Oh, so is that another energy drink? I thought it was like
I like
alcohol.
Celsius.
It is an energy drink. It is a very low calorie one.
Oh no, no, I haven't drank no energy drinks.
They are
Ain't
very good.
Celsius getting sued or something?
I don't know. But
By degrees.
But the Fuji apple pear
Please,
flavor
by Celsius.
has me in its fucking clutches.
First
Please
of all, our
sponsor
editor
just
has
me.
admitted to having no taste
Jussie was
buds
great.
and eating literally everything. So I don't know
Celsius,
if we can
please
take-
put a sponsor.
So I don't know if we can take his word for it. We might have to try this ourselves. So Celsius, go ahead and sponsor this podcast.
No, you could. I'll hand my Celsius to you, friend. I'm not
Ooh.
drinking it.
Cowhero's lying.
Crazy.
He'll drink it.
No, I'm not gonna drink it.
Shut up and
Not
say
without
you
some
don't.
vodka. No,
And who's telling you can't have it with vodka? That makes no sense.
give me I want Voss to sponsor me. I like your bottles.
You like their bottles.
Use some
Mhm.
big bongs out of them.
That's insane. I mean, I use regular water bottles.
No, we were in the trenches. You
No, I was in high school. Look, I was in high school, and I have.
You weren't
I was-
using-
Oh, you were in high school, bitch. I was in college. Ooh.
you were using liter bottles.
I was using the liter bottles. Look,
Liters, gallons,
look, look. Them
fucking
glass
Gatorade,
things- them glass
Anything.
things were perfect. All I needed
the
was
box cutter.
All I needed was
That's
my
it.
Dremel and a fucking diamond cutter bit. I made
Oh.
a nice little hole, put in a little thing that I
This bitch
fucking.
had to get fancy talking about a diamond cutter bit. What the hell is that?
He
It's a
has
little-
tools.
I have tools. Yeah, it's this like it's like
Bitch, I
a
took a
think
box cutter.
think of a
Good vibes.
drill. Think of a drill head that has like a fucking rock at the top.
Not
of it.
him mansplaining to us.
That's crazy.
He asked what it is.
Right, I know what a diamond drill bit is. Isn't that what you
Right.
said, right?
Diamond drill
Diamond-
bit.
No, he said
Girl.
bit drill, diamond bit drill is what he said.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know what a diamond bit drill is. I play Minecraft. Like,
Exactly.
Appreciate it.
Pick and jockey.
you know,
I really
what's
don't
crazy?
understand that, and like I feel old.
You don't under chicken jockey was
Like-
during our time.
Like I played Minecraft fucking when it came out, when it was in beta, when like you could barely see 8 fucking blocks in front of you.
Oh my god, I was having a conversation with somebody today, and they were like,
I just don't know what the fuck chicken
"Oh
jockey
my
is.
god!" I said, "I remember when Minecraft came out in like what 2009, 2007. When didn't it come out like 2007 or something?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was talking to one of my my students, and they were like, "I was 1." I said, "Don't ever say that ever again. Don't ever say that ever
They-
again, please."
They need to just withdraw. I
Well,
wouldn't do
no,
this anymore.
no intro. Listen,
Right.
he was already given Unk status. They called him Unk already.
I would fail all of them. They will all just get zeros.
Nah, bro.
Fucking
You get
Christ.
called Unk, it's game over, bro. Pack it up. Pack it up.
Exactly. That
I'm
class
Unc,
better
what does
fucking
that make
pack it the
y'all?
fuck up.
I'm talking about Orchid.
Hold on, I hope you're talking about them because I ain't say nothing.
Oh
I'm
no,
talking
not
about
you.
Orchid.
No, King. You're perfectly safe, and I appreciate your silence and solidarity. You standing with me and saying that I'm not that old. I appreciate you. And I
They-
won't
that's
accept
what they
any
gave
other
you Unc
variation of
status.
That statement.
They did give you Unc status. for that.
Once you've been called Unk, it's game over, bro.
They won't stop talking about it.
And they keep bullying me about it. Isn't it crazy?
So crazy.
This is ageism. Oh my god.
And they're
Yes.
older than you.
And they're older than me. That's the That's the gag. That's the craziest part about it all. They're older than me.
I haven't had nobody call me Unk yet.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
Right.
Because y'all work on desk jobs all day. Ho.
I travel.
I traveled too, actually.
Right, by
You
the
work
pool.
with 18-year-olds?
Say it again.
You work with 18-year-olds?
Like 20.
Yeah, I don't work with 18-year-olds.
Did you just say I'm 20?
No, I said like 20, not 18.
Why don't y'all listen to each other? I'm tired of y'all not understanding each other.
You're
Just open your
I'm tired of
ears,
being
Cow
bullied.
Hero. Open your
not being
ears.
bullied. You're being loved.
My new interns, I think, is like 18.
Oh. I don't
Tell
have
me you played
interns.
Club Penguin.
Damn.
I'll tell them
Let's
that.
see what happens.
I'm gonna get.
Okay, Unc.
Mm.
What's a Club
When it's her
Penguin?
for.
Yo,
It doesn't hit it when you call me that,
4chan
though.
now. They're not gonna know what 4chan is anymore. I mean,
You're
not that
right.
they should know what 4chan is. Trust,
They ain't doing-
They should not know.
I bet you.
But-
I want you to come
I don't
up and
even
say
know what
LimeWire.
4chan is.
Stop.
Say LimeWire
You
to
don't know
them.
what 4chan was, King? Is King?
I heard of it, but I never like. I don't
It's
know.
like a place where
It's
degenerates
Reddit.
gather.
Oh, it was
it's
like
it's
Reddit?
worse Reddit.
It's
Yeah,
what
it's
Reddit.
worse than Reddit.
It's what Reddit was, but like not built,
See-
but like it's what it.
What's crazy is that
It's Reddit without moderation.
It's
Right,
what
correct.
informed
That
Reddit's
I'm-
creation.
I am
Yes.
slightly, very, very slight by a very small, tiny amount older than you guys, and
Oh.
I don't know about these things.
Mm,
And it's not like a
tiny.
age, it's not like a generational difference. I just think that y'all were nerds growing up, and I wasn't.
Cover for someone that don't know Yabba Gabba. You're
That has nothing to do with being a nerd. I'm
Ancient.
confused. That has nothing to do. I just talked about being a nerd.
correct.
like we have to crack the tombs.
How about the fact that when you were home playing Minecraft, I was out having a life.
I was not playing Minecraft. I haven't played Minecraft.
While you were on
Until Club
and you were
Penguin
playing
was the
with
shit.
your
You played it on
Pokemon cards,
school
and
computers.
your damn Yu-Gi-Oh cards and your damn Digimon
I was playing it
cards.
outside.
While you was doing all that, I was out. I was actually outside riding around on my scooter because I never learned how to ride a bike.
I was riding around my bike.
Right, I was
You're
riding
lying,
around
you're
my
lying.
bike.
You were on Minecraft. You were just talking about it. You were playing the beta. Don't lie.
He's on RuneScape. That man is a RuneScape player.
I'm not a RuneScape player. That is
Oh,
blank name. Fuck.
what? What?
Blinking.
Go ahead, Cowboy Bebop.
Out.
Cowboy Bebop. Fucking
Like-
shit.
Oh, maybe that was Orchid that played RuneScape.
No, it wasn't.
I did not play.
Don't put that on my
Yo.
friend.
I mean, I did play RuneScape for like a couple of months, but my brother was one who played RuneScape a lot more. The only reason I played it is because I'm not gonna say that on air. But
Oh.
I wanted to be in the mix, so I decided to try it for like a month. That's why I started playing League. Like my brother played a lot of League, and I saw him playing League and like really getting into it. And at the time, I was the big Smite head. Like I was like, Smite is better than League. And then I played League, and I
It
was
is
like,
fun.
maybe Smite isn't better than League. But now in 2025, I feel like my life trajectory would have gone a lot differently had I gotten more into Smite than League. Because League is
Well,
toxic.
Well,
It is
Smite is
toxic.
dead. I think. Right? I
Is
think.
it really?
I feel like people still like it.
I-
Well, did you see that they? We're deviating, but did you see that they announced on the League release that they're releasing a game mode that was like you're escorting the minions to the other side and that's it? I don't know if you saw that. It's called like not arena, not clash, like
That sounds like
Battle or
chess.
Brawl. No, it's literally Cow Hero. You have
No.
We were doing
Listen,
so
at least
good.
I paused.
You were.
We were doing so good.
You can edit that one out.
Who? Who? Because I'm
Cow
hearing
Hero.
you. Oh, okay. Well, Cow Hero is busy with things going on right now. Cow Hero's busy.
You got
with
the editor
next-
right here.
Our editor is useless.
That's crazy.
Editor,
I-
tell the truth. Are you or are you not useless? Tell him.
Our editor is the vibes.
See? At least he.
What'd he
is
say?
honest.
What you say?
I agreed.
I need
Oh.
you friend to have higher
Okay.
self-worth.
What
Right.
has our
Put your...
editor done to be useful? Name one thing.
He's here.
I fixed
It's
it
right.
last time.
No, you
Uh,
didn't. I had to
Oh.
fix it.
That's
You got to
crazy.
bleep that out too, friend.
Like now you got two to edit out.
You got two.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Keep it up. Have you ever had mental crash outs?
Can you elaborate, please?
Right. I'm waiting for.
Like you have a crash out, but like in your mind, like you just fought with yourself and you're just upset.
No, my crash outs are always very much physical, like outside of my mind. Like it comes to fruition, I guess is the right way to word that.
Yeah. No.
What? Yeah, no.
Crazy.
Nah, like that doesn't happen to me. It's just everything's just all in my head, and so it's just like
Yeah,
So
you're a
you're-
Capricorn.
It's the Capricorn.
You never like
yeah.
have an outward reaction.
No, Capricorns they don't do things.
No, I can say that I don't really have one either. I tend to self-sabotage and panic in my own head.
I do a mix of both, depending on the situation. I think.
So does Orchid. I don't know why the Scorpio
Oh.
just lied to us just now.
When do I?
Scorpio,
That's
Sun,
crazy.
Gemini, Moon.
Our friend just became
when do
honest,
I
and you out
outwardly
here.
react? Like I'm so confused. I know, right? I was having a genuine vulnerable moment, and I said I self-sabotage.
Oh, that
You
is
know what?
true. You did say that.
I'm
You
just
did
gonna
say
shut
that.
up. How about that?
No, you did say that. You're right. I'm agreeing with you. You are right.
Dollies.
You did admit that.
Y'all have your crash outs. We all have our mental crash outs. So all my mental crash out dollies, go ahead, run that scenario, and then get yourself some BK right after, and make yourself happy. You know, I realized BK is my comfort food. It now became my comfort food.
Big knockers? Like, what are you talking about? What was
Big
it?
knockers. BK? Big. What is wrong with you? Girl, you.
What is BK? You
BK?
mean BJ?
Huh?
Like BJ's Bar and Brewery? You've never had BJ's Bar and Brewery?
Girl, BJ. No.
Oh, there's some good food. There's some really good burgers.
BK, Burger King? Girl, you're not that old.
Oh, Burger King?
Please tell me you're not that old.
Old. Don't nobody call Burger King BK.
That is actually kind of crazy because a lot of people do.
Thank
I've
you.
never
think at
heard
least.
that before in my life.
It's
Thank
really
you.
in the
So
jingle.
are you old then, since you don't?
BK, have it your way.
Way.
Rule.
Right.
Burger King, please sponsor us.
And that has been
Thank
the,
guys.
the theme since the inception of time. But they've been bringing it back.
Y'all
more
watch
recently.
too much TV because I don't be hearing no
TV.
Burger King commercial.
Listen.
How else do you hear the slogan? Do you hear it from when you pull up to the damn?
So you don't. So you don't go out.
Yeah,
You don't hear
actually,
the
you do. When
bars,
pull up
you
to
don't
the
hear when you're
drive-thru, they say,
shopping.
"Welcome to BK, where you rule."
That's
Like-
right.
Talk about
You say that in the drive-thru.
slogan.
You're
I'm
right.
talking about you singing the damn jingle is what I'm talking about. That comes from TV, from sitting your ass on the TV, stationary.
So you're saying my fat ass is on the TV 24/7 is basically what you're
Yes,
saying.
apparently, and eating your damn BK.
That's crazy because you could
So
hear
you're
that
fat
when you're at the
shaming.
bar. Right, you're fat shaming first off. Dollies, I'm so sorry. We don't fat shame y'all.
We really don't. Like, we're just having a,
we
trying to
really
have a
don't.
conversation about food options, comfort food options.
Your
Cowgirl.
comfort food
That's the crazy
options.
part.
Uh,
Y'all heard that.
yeah. Listen, I guess we can't talk about our comfort foods. Apparently, we'll be big backing out here. You know what?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you, Cow Hero. BK being your comfort food is a little crazy, but I understand.
You know, you just I just
Everybody has
I just
their
want a
own unique comfort
Whopper.
food.
Where does
I just
yours,
want a
Wendy's?
Whopper.
Little Caesars used to be mine.
Little
It
Caesars
was-
is nasty.
It was a dark time.
Little
And
Caesars
it-
is not that
It's not-
bad.
Little
Oh,
Caesars.
no.
I've never had Little
it's not
Caesars.
good.
Little Caesars is not good, but it's edible and it's really
Yeah.
fucking cheap.
It is cheap.
I never had it.
I
gotta have
there's
it.
T Life is something that T-Mobile gives you where you get like certain discounts on Tuesdays and
Oh, I remember
they
T-Mobile
get, like,
Tuesdays.
I never knew it was a thing, but they give like literal free food from Little Caesars all the time on Tuesdays. Like
They
you get like
must
free pizza.
hate
Free,
y'all.
I know. I'd be like, girl, because one time they had free Wendy's. I was like, ooh.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, they used to do
Ryan's
that.
Getting pre-sale
Yeah.
access.
I used to get a free umbrella.
Free umbrella. I'm talking about the free food.
Even though them tickets are $700, but
16 cabbages. Sorry.
Oh, did you buy your tickets, Orchid?
I am not, unfortunately, going to the store.
Now, you should wait because depending on with the
Well, they gotta be like, I'm not gonna lie, they gotta be like under $100.
But the problem though is the travel because I don't think she's stopping anywhere near you. Like The nearest is
She's
gonna
good.
be
No, she is.
She is.
She is. She is.
where?
Multiple dates.
Where? When?
Yeah, she has two. She has two.
East
Like,
Rutherford. Which I think that she's advertising East Rutherford as her New York show, or at least some of them.
oh, they call that New York. That's New York. They be calling it New York.
Check
No,
the
I-
info, baby.
No, let me tell you, because I go there. I went to a show once up there, and they literally
And then we
said
go like,
the performance
Like,
said,
You know
"New York, I love you."
People are complaining about the ticket price, but there's some that are only like $60 right now. Some for resale for only $60. It's far, of course, from the stage, but that's still like doable. The prices are really good right now. I don't know why people are complaining so much. The prices seem good. I know at some point the prices were
they
crazy.
probably
I, like,
leveled out.
I heard that there was something was supposed to like make that happen. I don't know how they do that, but I did hear them talking about like, oh, something happened with Ticketmaster. I remember hearing stuff like that.
16 carriages.
Ticket
Right.
poaching needs to really stop.
You
It's
said
a
what
really
needs to
big
stop?
problem. Ticket poaching. Like people
Yeah.
are hoarding
Hey.
or whatever the word is, like people buying like bulk of tickets and then reselling them.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. The MetLife Stadium. Okay. I see.
they gotta stop doing that. They really do, because that ruins like just waiting for a pre-sale for things.
The tickets aren't. There are tickets that are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah.
No, because I was like, these tickets aren't that bad. Oh my goodness, you girl. When I tell you, you gonna be singing from the parking lot, like they were saying.
Not
because
singing from the parking
these
lot.
tickets are so far. The stadium's too big. That's too big of a stadium. Like, I never thought I'd say these words before, Dollies, but it's just too big. Like, look at how far. No.
Listen, I got a close up seat in the last one. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, girl.
Bless you, friend.
Your molecule, like you trying to solve a mystery or something.
I ain't a Monica. I was with her. She said, "I'm the visuals." I was with it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, I just brought it up. Okay, so Dollies. So all my rave Dollies. I went to a rave Saturday. And we know these big DJs or whatever, or at least I know these big DJs or whatever. And going to this event, it's a lot of underground DJs, so it's a lot of like not big, big artists, but like you get to know the community or whatever, and it was fun. I got a little what's the word? I got a little spicy, and I got myself a Long Island iced tea. So all my Long Island iced tea girlies, we were having a moment. We were just vibing out. There was like hula hoops with the lights. People were just jamming out. It was a great time. But there was like this guy, like I was sitting down, and then this guy was like sitting next to me. And the DJ was like, "Oh, this one's gonna be for the girls." And the guy next to me looked over to me, tapped my shoulder, and said, "Yeah, girls, woo." And I looked at him, and I was like, "Yeah, girls, woo." Like, I was so confused. I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what?" And I turned around and I just continued watching.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like how do I don't know, like react to that. I'm just like, yeah, girls, woo, I guess. I don't know, but that was my awkward interaction with people segment. It's really crazy, but that was a fun event. I didn't pay. A DJ actually paid for my entrance, and it was like I didn't know until later. But I got in for free.
Well, that's good. It sounded like you had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun, friend. It's nice to like let loose, especially with you being kind of, booked and busy with work and everything now. So it's good that you got to let loose and have a good time.
You know, my pennies gotta be so.
Huh? Patreon exclusive.
No,
Since
girl,
we're still
promo
waiting on
clip.
it, I did want to bring up this because I didn't actually get to tell you, Cow Hero, but so I couldn't get out of work and stuff, so I did miss my baby cousin's wedding. Shout out to Michaela, but she so my mom went with my sisters and my niece, and she actually, so she's a travel agent, so I'm not sure if she like was able to book this because of like a better rate or something or why, but the hotel that she booked for them to stay at actually turned out to be one of the most haunted in New Orleans. And she didn't realize until she got there, because when she got to the front desk, the lady handed her this pamphlet, and she grabbed a second copy for me, and I have it right here. And the lady handed her it and was like, oh yeah, because we had this paranormal investigators, they came down and they got all this evidence. They caught like a bunch of ghosts and stuff, so it was really cool. My mom was like, huh? And she got handed the packet, and then she walked to her room, and I showed her to film some content. She did not. But she did tell me that she and my sister both had nightmares. The first night that they were there, well, they were only there for 2 nights technically. The first night she said that they had nightmares, and that my mom thought she heard a woman screaming in her sleep one time. So that is pretty interesting. And I have this packet, and at some point we can go over the stuff that's in this packet and we can talk about it. We will begin our haunted like location segment soon, so stay tuned for that, Dollies. Pretty excited about that. We got a lot of good stuff, but we got to keep getting, we got to do like a deep dive. We got to get more research going, and our lead researcher is actually Orchid, so Orchid is gonna have to get on that when he gets the chance, so
That felt kind of shady.
It did.
How's that
It's
shady?
okay.
How? You know what? These sensitive ass Scorpios and apparently Capricorns, because there was no shade. Bitch, I'm a Cancer. If I'm shading you, it'll be obvious. That's all I'm trying to say. It'll be very, very obvious.
Dollies, what do you think? I think it was pretty obvious to me.
Do some damn work. Who said that?
Dollies, I appreciate it. Thank you to tuning in this episode. It's a lot crazier than our last episode. I mean, I think this was the craziest episode today. It might be a little long, but
Certainly today.
It's the only one today, right? It's the only one today.
I just feel like I should plug this, but I feel like by the time this episode is released, it might pass. But Dollies, please take advantage of my East Coast Dollies, especially. Take this time, go to your local Wawa and get yourself a free coffee, because it is Wawa Day and you'll get your free coffee. But by the time you watch this,
East Coast girlies, at the time of recording, you have 2 hours. At the time of recording. So this shit is over. That is crazy. I did not think you were gonna say that. What? He said, before y'all go, I just want to let y'all know something that y'all can't do, but I certainly can do. I'm gonna get my free coffee in the next 2 hours. But if y'all somehow get this recording, that's crazy.
by the time it goes out, it'll be too late. But I hope y'all claimed your free coffee, get your points, rack it up. I heard someone at my Wawa when I went to get gas, they said they racked up 7K points.
Wow.
But yeah, you can still go, friend. Right. You got 2 hours. So but other than that, thank you for listening in to this episode of the podcast. Feel free to check us on our socials at the Dollies Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not gonna say the other one, and TikTok. And be sure to check out our Patreon. I know King said a bit about it, but we'll also plug in some extra content and tell us what you'd like to know. Like, well, probably I feel like putting a poll to see what you guys want to see more, whether it's like explanation of haunted houses or, you know, silly little clips of us. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Lots of love, and yeah.
We'll
Anything
see
else
y'all
you want to add?
next episode.
Period.